What's up, you guys? It is Simone, aka Money Mo here, and you guys, it's been a minute, but we are back. And I know y'all see the shirt. Flick, zoom in on the shirt.
Hold on,
I
hold on. You
don't
gotta
think we
tilt the
need it.
camera down. Tilt down, tilt down.
Oh, I don't think we need an
There we
introduction.
go.
I don't think we need an introduction. Stop playing with me.
Hello.
I said it first on here. I am for the players. We know that. All right, quick little intro, you guys. When I'm on this mic talking this W, we are in the clubhouse. No Dodger slander, Lakers slander, or Rams slander will be tolerated. And we're definitely not tolerating the hate in women's sports, okay? We miss you guys. It's been a minute, but we got a good episode coming up. Let's get into prayers up for Sid Colson for tearing her ACL and Ari McDonald. She broke her foot. Let's just have prayers for a speedy recovery for those two. It just sucks that the Fever's backcourt is dropping like flies. I blame it all on the commissioner, but that's a whole nother talk for a whole nother day. Okay. It's a whole nother talk for a whole nother day. I'm not even gonna dig deep into that. Because we got a good episode today. I want to talk about a little bit of the trade deadline. There was some big moves in that one. And then we're gonna follow it with an MVP ladder because I feel like you guys love my MVP ladder show. And I got a good one for y'all. And it's 5 people on there. It should be 6, but it's 5. Um, One of the trade deadline moves that I really liked was Dejanay Carrington to the Minnesota Lynx. With Fee being out for like a week or two, adding in another defensive force in there is a plus. And I also like that the Wings are getting Diamond Miller. I like the fact that she'll be on a young, growing team, and I feel like she'll really get to showcase her skills a little more. Because I feel like with the Lynx, it was a lot of position players. I don't want to say similar to her, but I think she's more of like an in between player. And like Minnesota Lynx is real straight to the point, like it's front court, back court. And she could kind of play a little bit of both depending on the team and the matchup, right? Um, Another one I liked was Aaliyah Edwards to the Connecticut Sun. I know like a couple months ago the team did announce that they were looking to trade Aaliyah Edwards, so I was not surprised to buy that. Um, and in return, the Mystics get JC Sheldon. She locks down on defense. The guard that got drafted at Ohio State in last year's really popular class to the Mystics. And also, speaking of the Mystics, Slim went to the Seattle Storm, and the Mystics get Alicia Clark. Okay, the Mystics picked up really well on the defensive presence, and they're also racking up those first round draft picks. I'm not gonna be surprised in the 2026 class that the Mystics are probably going to get 5 of the top 10 players because of how their front office worked. And shout out to that front office. Shout out to that front office. And also the Storm picked up some defense as well with Slim. So I feel like there was no L's in this trade. I feel like the teams that are in playoff position are looking to add missing pieces to their puzzle, and teams that know they're not making it to the playoffs, they're looking towards the future. Win-win in my book. All right. Well, let's get into this MVP ladder. And before we get into this MVP ladder, MVP, most valuable player, I felt like I said this definition on one episode, but this player is valuable. Okay. And I feel like if y'all don't know what valuable means, let me break it down in basketball tense. These are players that like the opposing team's game plan against, meaning they try to either take this player out of the game scoring wise, or they're most likely trying to contain because these players usually get theirs either way. And for the teams that these players play on, they are a huge impact. And if they kind of have a bad game or they're out, it is a pretty big chance that they might not win that game or it's just going to look off. All right. I got 5 players on my list, like I said. We're going to start off with, we got a couple of newbies on here, you guys. Let's start off with the first one, and she plays for the Atlanta Dream. We're going to start with Alicia Gray. Okay. We're starting with Alicia Gray. She's top 5 in the league in 3 pointers made, and she's teamed up in the backcourt with Ryan
Ryan
Howard.
Howard.
And,
And
you
you
know,
know,
with
with
Alicia
Alicia
Gray,
Gray,
you're
you're
going to
going to
game
game
plan
plan
for the
for the
jumper,
jumper,
but she
but
could
she could
also
also
drive. She
drive.
does
She
a
does a
little bit
little
of
bit of
everything,
everything,
okay?
okay?
And
And
she's
she's
shooting
shooting
40% from
40%
the
from the
three.
three.
And
And
she makes the team very dangerous by adding another scoring threat. Because right now, it's like when you think of the Atlanta Dream, Ryan Howard containing that. But Ryan Howard's been out. So who's next up? Alicia Gray. And that this just makes them even more dangerous because their front court is so big with Jones and Griner, and then you have Gray, Howard, and then you have Jordan Canada at the point. Great vision, great look. They look good on paper and they look good on the court. That's why she's in my most valuable player ladder, my
My
MVP
MVP
ladder.
ladder.
We're
We're
gonna
gonna
start
start
that with
that with
Alicia
Alicia
Gray.
Gray.
Um,
Um,
I
I
wouldn't be
wouldn't be
surprised if
surprised if
she's
she's
second or
second or
third in
third in
voting
voting
because
because
she
she
is
is
playing
playing
well.
well.
And
And
if
if
you
you
look at
look at
those
those
numbers,
numbers,
speak for
speak for
itself.
itself.
And I
And
know
I know
y'all
y'all.
see on that screen what she's doing. I know you guys see it. I feel like I'm talking in circles. You guys see it on the screen. Look at what she's doing. Okay. But you know what? I'm gonna go to the next person because I feel like y'all not hearing me. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's go with Miss Triple Double herself, Alyssa Thomas from the Phoenix Mercury. Okay. She's leading the league in assists. She's a walking triple double. And on a really good day, she might give you a quadruple double. All right. Her impact when the Phoenix Mercury is felt, and she is the motor. She is the reason and the engine of that team. Okay. She's a true playmaker
Maker
on
on
offense.
offense,
She
she
could
could
run the
run the
point.
point.
I
I
love when
love when
she
she
goes in
goes
her
in her
little
little
dribble
dribble
handoff
handoff
action
action
because
because
she's
she's
super
super
aggressive.
aggressive.
You
You
don't
don't
know if
know if
she's
she's
literally
literally
going
going
to
to
hand the
hand the
ball
ball
off
off
or
or
she's
she's
going to
going to
fake
fake
the
the
handoff
handoff
and
and
go
go
to
to
the
the
basket.
basket.
And
And
don't
don't
let her
let
go
her
to
go
the
to the
basket
basket
on
on
you
you
because
because
once
once
she
she
dips
dips
that
that
shoulder
shoulder
and
and
you
you
try to
try to
contain
contain
that,
that
foul
foul
and
and
one,
one,
right?
right?
Okay. But she is a true playmaker in the sense of she could score and she loves and she drops dimes. She loves to dish the ball as well. That's what makes her a really great team player. And on defense, she'll get down on the floor, get after a loose ball. She'll get up in somebody's grill. And especially and also too, on that weak side, she's not afraid to sacrifice her body and 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 take the charge. And I'm just surprised that these past couple seasons she hasn't been on the MVP list, but she's on mine. She is on mine, and I don't see her coming off. All right,
And she's one of the vets on this list, right? She might be the oldest player on this list at this point.
and playing like a young buck. I need the secret of Alyssa Thomas. What is it? I need to know. Is Are
Are
you
you
juicing?
juicing?
What's
What's
the
the
workouts? I
workouts? I
need to
need to
know the
know the
secret.
secret.
But
But
you
you
can
can
let
let
me
me
know
know
another
another
time,
time,
another
another
day.
day.
All
All
right,
right,
we
we
got
got
another
another
newbie on
newbie
the
on the
list.
list.
She's from New York, the New York Liberty. All right. Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina Ionescu has made my MVP ladder, you guys. Yes, I know you guys are probably expecting Brianna Stewart, but I feel like Stewie's been having a quiet year, and plus she's injured. But let's not get it twisted. Brianna Stewart is still the engine for the New York Liberty, but Sabrina Ionescu has picked up the slack in her absence. Okay, she's fifth in the league in points per game, and she's on a talented roster, right? But don't let the ranking or the number fool you of her being top five in points per game. When Sabrina is over 18 to 20 points, as a coach on the opposing team, it's kind of like, what are you going to do? You have to pick your poison. And it's kind of like, okay, if you gonna shut down Jonquel Jones, if you're gonna attempt to shut down Brianna Stewart or Phoebish, like Sabrina Ionescu is one of the ones I feel like if I was a coach and I had to pick my poison, I would have to try to contain Sabrina Ionescu, okay? And when she's hot, she gets hot. And it's like, yeah, like you could go from being down three and say like if she's really going, you could be down to as much as 15 points
Points. If
if
they're
they're
really
really
finding her
finding
and
her and
giving her
giving
the
her the
ball, and
ball.
I
And I
feel
feel
like
like
the
the
Liberty
Liberty
does a
does a
really
really
good
good
job
job
of
of
finding
finding
her
her
in
in
place,
place,
especially
especially
with
with
Cloud
Cloud
running
running
the
the
point.
point.
Okay,
Okay,
but
but
the
the
one
one
thing
thing
that
that
stands
stands
out
out
with
with
her
her
as
as
well
well
is
is
that
that
like
like
we
we
seen
seen
in
in
postseason
postseason
moments,
moments,
she's
she's
not
not
afraid
afraid
to
to
take
take
that
that
last
last
shot,
shot.
and
And
I
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
be
surprised.
surprised if we see her in the finals this year and she's making that play and she's creating plays for her team to win. And like I said before, I see the Liberty winning it again this year. I think they're going back to back. And I said it right here live. I said what I said.
Mm, that's big talk. Sabrina, she plays on the East, and it's a lot of talented guards in the East. Uh,
Stack.
how does she really stand out? How does she push herself forward from everybody else to reach this MVP level?
In my opinion, as a true shooter, she has turned from a shooter into a scorer. Of being able to in some possessions, being able to bring the ball up, create her own shot, as well as help help get her other teammates involved as well. So I feel like in my opinion, she's evolved from a shooter to a scorer. So, and I feel like it's a difference. I think people don't know the difference because she's a great shooter, but I feel like she's evolved her game as a scorer. And like a little bit of cues on defense as well. I see like that she be trying, and she anticipates a little better on defense from me watching her from her days in Oregon to now. So like I see the growth, I see the progress, and that's why she's on my ladder. All right. Next up, you guys, they've been on my ladder the past couple of seasons. Okay. We're gonna start off with the queen, Asia Wilson. All right. That's what happened next. And she's second in the league for points per game and rebounds per game, and she's leading the league in blocks. All right. Um, Sitting at 22 points a game, the reigning MVP is a problem for the opposition. Okay. We all know she gonna go left. We all know that. Everyone in the gym knows that. But the question is, who's stopping that? And that's nobody. Nobody's stopping that. And just because she's on a talented roster, you cannot take her game lightly, okay? And I like that she's shooting almost 50% from field goal range. She's shooting at 48% to be exact. And I like how every year she kind of expands her range. And I like that in some of the sets that they run, she's shooting that three comfortably, as well as taking the ball off the dribble, 1-2 pull up. She's able to go to the basket as well. Like, this is why I call her the queen. She's on the throne. She's on the throne, and she's there to stay. Ever since she got snubbed that MVP season, she's been playing with a chip on her shoulder, and that chip is still sitting there. It's sitting there, and it's still got a bunch of dip on there. It's sitting there with some dip on there. Okay.
That's my
So
captain.
that's the queen. I love Asia Wilson. And Asia, if you ever seen this, we need some of them A1s. I don't care what colorway. I wear a 9 in women. Get the PO box from Flicks, okay? All right. Last but not least, heavy on not least, drum roll please. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Queen Fee, Naphesia Collier. She is the last spot on that MVP ladder, and she's leading the league in points per game. What else I could what else I could say? She's efficient on both ends of the floor, and she is the motor for the Minnesota Lynx. She is the head of the snake. She is Optimus Prime, and the rest of the Minnesota Lynx are the Autobots. Okay, she is the head. All right, let's make that clear. And then it's kind of like when other teams play Minnesota, the game plan is on her. I don't believe a coach is sitting there saying we have to stop her. I think their words is we have to contain her because there are moments where you could throw two people on her. She might score off two people. She gonna hit you with that one foot little fadeaway, that little Dirk, the little Dirk Nowitzki, or don't put a double team on her as well. And then she notices the mismatch on one of the other players because she finds her teammates well. And you know what? I feel like at some point you're just gonna have to put three people on her, and I'm not gonna be surprised she's gonna find a way to score. But that same energy she has on offense, she brings to defense as well. You could see her being very vocal and very active when it's a lot of screen action. Um, just because just because you got about arm distance on her, that doesn't mean she's slow. She's super quick. She could block a shot from about arm distance. She could slide her feet and cut off the baseline, and she controls the boards. I think she is one of the better all around players in the W. And if someone was asking who's the top 10 in the W, Fee is one, Asia Wilson two. Please argue with your mama. Don't come over here. Don't come over here saying nothing to me. One and two. I said what I said.
I said I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Uh, and then don't say nothing.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have another finals matchup of the Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty.
The links got to go through the aces. I'm gonna tell you that.
Okay. 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 We'll see. We'll
All
see.
right. So speaking of this MVP ladder, you was missing Stewie. Stewie's not here, but she's injured, right?
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark is
she got a
also
bone bruise.
a bone bruise. How long is that? How long is that? Shout out for that.
Um, it's been a minute, but I feel like a bone bruise, anything like that, it's gonna take a little time. And plus, I feel like the Liberty is doing good right now to where like I don't think they're gonna rush her back.
Right.
But I would expect her honestly to be back probably early September, mid September. If that was me, if I was in the front office,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't rush nothing because if I know I'm in a position to where I'm about to have a playoff push, why would I rush? Why would I rush somebody back?
Right.
And they're good right now. Sabrina, John Quill, T Cloud, they're holding it down. They're holding it down.
Okay, and then we also know Caitlin Clark is hurt, but there's one more name I
There
left off
is.
this.
There is because Flicks, I feel like one thing about you, if I have four people on there, it's too much. If I have five people on there, it's too much. I feel like if I even have two people on there, that's still too much for you. But hey, it's my segment. I feel like I could add five. It low key should have been six, and that sixth person should have been Neka Abumake because she is stellar. She's stellar. She's one of my top 10 in the W. Yes, one of my top 10. Please argue with your mama, not me. I've been watching this game for a very long time, not 2 years ago, like a lot of y'all. Okay. 14 seasons in the W, and she has not missed a beat. And I've noticed the past 2 seasons when she was with the Storm, her range has increased. She's still dominating on the boards. They still can't stop that one post move she do. It's super simple, super fundamental, and they're not stopping it. Okay. And her game right now, it kind of reminds me of that MVP type of run she was on when she was with the Sparks when we won the championship in 2016. But if I was able to have six on my ladder, Nika would have been on there. I just have to keep it at five because I didn't want to hear flicks. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. It's blame it on flicks. That's why she's not on there. Blame it on flicks. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the ladder in the comments. And I would love for the people that know basketball and a little bit of basketball analytics to drop some feedback on there too. The rest of y'all could drop feedback on there too, but it'll be weighed. The feedback will be weighed based on basketball knowledge. Flicks, what did you think of my ladder?
It's good. Pretty quality ladder. It's updated. It's a very updated ladder. I think that's what's most important. It's updated with between the injuries and everything else that's going on in the league.
Yeah. I feel like when we have our little exit meeting, we got to break down like the whole injury thing and the season thing because I feel like I say it, but I think a lot of people are visual learners and they need like definitions in like the big letters because you know how I feel. You know how I feel. So I feel like we have to have a full breakdown on that. But despite the league having a bunch of injuries and stuff, like the players that are hanging on, they're hanging on, and there are players that stepping up, making big time plays, playing big minutes. Um, this second half of season is going to be really good. I know if you look at the WNBA record, seeds literally three from about 10, they're close in like so many games. I feel like there's only two teams, in my opinion, there's only two teams that are safe. And the two teams that are really safe is the Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty. I think those two are going to stay where they're at, and then it's a it's a race. And you know who's in the race? I just want to give a little quick little snippet. My Sparks, because like I've said seasons ago, people just have to trust the process. And I told myself I was going to be cool in here, but I'm not. I lied. I'm popping it. Okay. I just remember last season and the season before that, I was in a group chat and I'm not gonna say the names of the people that was in the group chat, but they was talking down about my sparks. And I couldn't really say nothing because, I was trusting the process. And ever since my team been on the road, we won the last 8 of the 9 games. Out of the 5 of the 6 games, we've been in the 100 point margin. I was just waiting. I had my phone like this. Where the group chat stuff at now? Silent. So I just want us to keep it that way moving forward. But I love the way my Sparks are playing right now. Shout out to Coach Lynn and the ladies over there at the Sparks. I love what they're doing. I'm going to see them in action August 26th against Phoenix because I want to see Kalia Copper, Satu, and AT go up against my Sparks. Thank you. Flicks, that was a really good episode, but I'm about to close it out with these people. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Um, if y'all want us to talk about certain subjects on there, drop that in the comments. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at Laced Up Pod. We will see y'all next time.